Hey, I'm here with Kate Harper, Vice President of Global Real Estate at WeWork at the Urban Land Institute's 2025 Spring Meeting, and we'll be discussing trends in office workplace experiences and strategies for driving continuous occupancy. Kate, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you, Gabriel. It's nice to meet you.
Of course, likewise. So, at the moment, what are some of the most recent trends that you've observed regarding office employee habits and preferences regarding in-person work in the 5 years since the pandemic?
Yeah, I mean it's a great question, and we were just had this panel where most of it was spent talking about amenities and what types of amenities employees want to see, what types of amenities employers are prioritizing, and then therefore landlords and building owners are prioritizing in order to get people back to the office. And the thing that comes up over and over again is energy. Any space, the most beautifully built space with the first class amenities, if that space is empty, doesn't have good energy, doesn't have light, doesn't have sort of the right feeling to it, then it doesn't matter. You could over amenitize for days, and people still wouldn't come back to the office. So I think that one of the things we've known for a long time at WeWork is that making sure the space is built for people to have their most productive days and feel good about the day that they have at work. That involves a number of different types of spaces, and we have an incredible design team that's learned from years of sort of testing and making sure that our space is as activated as possible. How to do that, no matter really where we are in the world.
Sure. And so, which on the employee side, which factors have most influenced these trends and really the layouts and configurations of spaces in appealing to these kind of intangible elements that you spoke of?
So employees will have different types of work that they want to do, right?
Yeah.
So part of it is collaboration, and talk a lot about how people can easily work from home in their office if they have one. Or not. In my case, I live in a small two-bedroom apartment in New York, but with my two children who don't let me work when I am home with them. So I always go into the office to do my work, but I can certainly understand the position of somebody who has space at home and is looking to do quiet work on their own. Obviously, you can't collaborate nearly as well, and we all know that now, unless you're in person. But when you get to the office, it's not necessarily about. It's partially about fun, which we talked about. It has to feel good to be there. No Sunday scaries when your weekend is ending, but it's not just about fun. It's not about keeping people late in the office instead of going out into the world for the rest of their lives, right? It's not about programming the space so that no one ever leaves. It's about making sure that each element uh, is kind of purpose built for productivity, whatever that employee may need at the time.
Sure. And this often could mean many different things at different spaces, even on the same street. But I think there's also this recognition, and one of the big takeaways I had from the panel discussion is, not every space can be a one Vanderbilt or the Spiral. I think within the limitations of their capabilities, how can office operators best adapt to and accommodate these trends and preferences?
Yeah, I mean those types of buildings are accessible by only a few,
Yeah.
right? And we know who those tenants are, and every landlord is sort of fighting for them in this amenity, war of sorts, or however you want to call it, where each one kind of tries to outdo the one before it, and at a certain point, I think you reach a kind of threshold of what people are willing to pay for, whether it's through capital improvements in the building that or through rent that then covers a lot of the cost of operating those, kind of amazing amenity spaces. At some point, it's not really worth it, and employees will sort of dictate over time what that threshold is. Um, and I think that there's a lot of really good real estate in great locations. It's not trophy buildings, but it still has all of the things that employees really want in terms of accessibility, in terms of the neighborhood feeling, in terms of all of the factors that the Gensler survey sort of noted as most important right now, like coffee shops, street life, basically. That's easy for us to see in New York, but not necessarily in other cities.
Sure. There is hope yet for the B and C buildings.
That's right. I think so too. Maybe not the C buildings, but certainly certainly the B buildings and the A minus ones, and however we define, that it's a little bit older of a stock of building class, and there are a lot of them, especially in New York. And I happen to love working in character buildings as opposed to trophy towers, and I know I can't be the only one. So I think WeWork does a really good job of covering all bases.
Yeah, they're definitely out there.
Yeah.
Kate, thank you so much for
Thank
such an
you,
insightful
Gabriel.
discussion.
It's nice to talk to you.
Pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks for having me.